Hello, readers. If you're watching this, then that means you were not live with Miss Hazel for reading workshop. So if you were, then you do not need to watch this. So today we are beginning our first unit of reading workshop, and we're going to read this story together and answer some questions. So on classwork, you might have noticed you had story, an attachment here, and also you had a Google Doc with your name. So click into the Google Doc, and it will bring you here. It says Unit 1 Pre-Assessment. Okay, so this is just like a pre-assessment's a fancy word for a check-in. Check-in for what you know now so that we can see how much you grow. So you have 4 questions that you're going to answer about this story. We are reading it together, and I'll be stopping as we read to give you time to answer questions. Okay, so let's begin. Abby Takes Her Shot by Susan M. Dykman. A blast off the buzzer ended the game, and the Hawks had won another close one. Yes! Shouted Abby, leaping from the bench. Her throat hurt from cheering so hard. The Hawks were undefeated after 13 games, the best record a Willow Grove middle school team had ever had. Not that Abby had made much of a contribution. Her playing time totaled only about 10 minutes for the entire season. It didn't help when her brother Michael teased her as she walked towards the locker room. "You're a cheerleader in a basketball uniform," he said. "All you need are pom-poms." Abby felt her mom's eyes on her from the bleachers. Abby forced a little wave, but her eyes stung from tears. She ducked into the bathroom before joining Coach Mackenzie and her teammates. Coach was all smiles. "Girls, your defense was awesome," she said. "And Kathy, your free throw shooting helped us a lot. Nice game." Abby felt like shouting, "My free throw shooting could help too, if I could just get in the game." She thought of the hours she'd spent practicing. Foul shots, layups, dribbling. Mom said it was worth it. Abby was a 5th grader, and she'd made the team. Made it through 2 rounds of cuts during the tryouts. But Abby learned quickly that making the team and playing the games were 2 different things. All right, so we've just read a little bit. Now you are going to answer this question 1. So this is on your pre-assessment. Right here on your doc. What kind of person is Abby? So when you click next to number 1, or you can click in the box here, you can begin to type your answer and stop when you are done. Okay? So pause this video right now and type your answer for number 1. When you are done answering question 1, you may hit play and continue the video. Okay. So if you are If you are watching this again, then you should have typed up an answer for number 1. Obviously, I'm not going to type one because I want to see what you have to say. And now you're ready to keep listening so that we can move on to the next questions. Mom was waiting in the car. Abby blinked back tears as she opened the door. She knew Mom wanted her to succeed as much as Abby wanted to herself. "Are you okay?" Mom asked. Abby swallowed hard and nodded. Mom squeezed her hand as they pulled out of the parking lot. Mom always knew when it was best to say nothing. Supper time was quiet. Dad had taken Michael to a scout meeting, so Abby was spared her brother's teasing. She and Mom talked about next week's class trip to the aquarium. After clearing the table, Abby went to her room to do her homework. When she'd finished, Abby grabbed her basketball and raced downstairs. As she flicked on the outdoor lights, Mom came up behind her. "Want some company?" she asked. "I guess," Abby answered. Mom took her spot under the basket. Abby always led off their make it take it games. I know what you're going to say, Abby began. I made the team, and I should be happy. Not this time, Abby, Mom said. She passed the ball back, and Abby hit her second jump shot in a row. I just want to say that I'm proud of you for hanging in there. Abby's next shot bounced off the rim. Mom grabbed the ball and dribbled back to the free throw line. What time is your game on Saturday? Mom asked as she shot. 10:30, Abby said. She held the ball tightly and looked at Mom. I really thought I'd play more. Even in 5th grade. I know you did, honey. Mom put her arms around Abby and hugged her tight. Your time will come. The gym was packed for Saturday's game, the last one of the season. The leads seesawed back and forth, and the Hawks starters were breathing hard at halftime. Coach Mackenzie was encouraging. Stick to your game, she said. Work the ball around until you get an open shot. The crowd cheered as the second half began. Abby watched intently as the players ran up and down the court. The score remained close, and the Hawks trailed by 1 point in the final minute. Come on, Hawks, Abby breathed. A few seconds later, Kathy stole the ball and raced towards the basket. As she went up for the shot, an opponent slammed her, knocking her to the floor. Kathy did not get up. The gym got very quiet as Coach Mackenzie and the trainer checked her ankle. Finally, Kathy was helped to the bench. She would be all right, but she definitely was not going back in the game. The referee came over to the bench. Coach, you need a sub at the free throw line. She gets 2 shots. What do you think will happen the rest of the story? What makes you think this? Okay, so this is question 2 now. What do you think will happen the rest of the story? What makes you think this? So you're going to go to your Google Doc. You have the question here, and you will type your answer. Once you're done typing your answer, you can resume this video. So right now, hit pause to answer the question, and then hit play when you are ready to move on. All right, if you're listening, then hopefully you finished number 2. If you did not, then pause now, and then come back when you're ready. All right, let's see. Coach looked at the players on the bench. She'd always stressed the importance of free throw shooting. Who paid attention? Kathy, for one, and Abby. She hadn't played much this season, but she can certainly shoot. Abby, Coach said. You're in. Abby's stomach flipped. Me? She said. Now? Coach stepped closer to her. I've watched you in practice, she said. You can do this. Abby jumped up, reported in at the scorer's table, and walked to the line. She glanced at the scoreboard. 2 points and a few seconds of defense would win the game. The referee handed Abby the ball. She took a deep breath. 2 bounces. She crouched and let the ball fly. Swoosh! The crowd roared. One more, Abby thought. She caught the ball. Bounce, bounce, shoot. The gym exploded with cheers as the ball went through the hoop. Seconds later, the buzzer sounded. The Hawks were undefeated. Abby's time had come. All right, question 3. Summarize the story. Abby takes her shot. After you have answered question 3, you may play the video. So right now is your time to pause. Then play the video when you are done answering question 3. All right, we're back. You have summarized the story. Abby takes her shot. Now we have question 4. The author called this story Abby Takes Her Shot. Why do you think the author decided to title it this way? Go to question 4 and answer it. Hit pause now and hit play when you are done answering question 4. All right, so if you are back, then you should be done answering question 4. All right, so remember, this is just a pre-assessment. It's like a check to see where we are, so we can check in at the end of the year to see how much we've grown. Okay? Good work today. You will now go to the top, and you're going to have a button up here on your doc. I don't have it because I'm the owner of your doc, but it will say turn in, and I want you to click turn in. Okay? Way to go, readers.